salt in general doesn't cause problems. The lifestyle around it does. Hello, hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo. And today we're diving into one of the most misunderstood topics in nutrition, which is salt. So the topic for today is salt actually bad for you or is it good for you, right? Should you be cutting it out or are you actually making things worse by avoiding it? So if you ever been, if you ever been told by your doctor or other people like, hey, watch your salt, and then you see athletes adding it to their water. They be adding electrolytes to their water. This episode is for you, right? So obviously I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a dietitian or anything like that. So take my advice with a grain of salt. But overall, I'll just share with you my experience with it, right? And coaching clients as a fitness trainer, but also just, consuming content from people that operate at high performance, Andrew Huberman, all these other scientists that mostly create content for the neuroscience side of performance, but also just overall, just being able to get more done if you're a productive person. So when I look at it from both perspectives, the medical and that, this episode is for those of you that may have been confused on salt because you hear your doctor say, don't take too much salt. And then on the other side, you hear, see athletes, sprinkling salt everywhere. They're drinking electrolytes drink or they're taking LMNT salt packets and putting them into their water bottles. So this episode hopefully will clear things up for you, right? We'll separate myth from reality and find out what salt really does in your body, right? So the very first part I want to talk about is the reputation problem, right? So for decades, salt has gotten a bad rep. Cardiologists, dietitians, the media, everyone said salt equals high blood pressure, right? And yeah, that is true. If someone's sedentary, they're eating fast food all day and has hypertension, that is very true. But that advice spread to everybody, even people who lift, run, and eat clean, does not work, right? So the truth is, those original studies on salt were done on inactive populations, right? So people that did not exercise, people that ate fast food, people that, were not healthy per se. Those studies were done on those people. So they were like, yeah, salt equals high blood pressure. So let's avoid salt. But then when people like us, people who exercise 3 to 4 times a week, if not more, people who run, people who lift weights, people who sweat, people who drink tons of water, when we apply that advice to us, it doesn't always fit, right? So we've been following rules, I feel, that were made for people who don't move when we are the ones who actually do, right? So if you think about it, if you're an athlete and you're running twice a week or 3 times a week and you're, lifting weights 4 times a week and you get 8 hours of sleep every night and your nutrition is locked in, you cook home cooked meals and you eat, really good nutrition, that advice doesn't fit. Right. So this is where that was the reputation problem that salt had, where the population that they did the studies on was mostly inactive, obese, they already had underlying health concerns. They were eating fast food, all of that. So when you monitor that population with salt, the results were high blood pressure. But very rarely do you have these studies being done on athletes. So nowadays, a lot more research has come out. So you see a lot more athletes prioritizing electrolytes. You see people drinking more coconut water because it has electrolytes. You see people using, different types of salts like LMNT has really exploded, that brand. You guys have probably seen their ads. They're everywhere now, right? And it's like if you put that packet in your flask of water, that's very salty, right? So it just makes you wonder, you're like, this good or bad? And every time I drink it, I just feel sharper. I'm on these coaching calls. I'm on Zoom calls. I'm going for a run. Whatever I do, I just feel sharper, right? So the thing with salt, let's talk about what salt actually does in your body. Now that we've cleared out the reputation problem and why that started, let's talk about what it actually does in your body, right? So salt is not just flavor. It's actually one of your body's main electrolytes. It helps balance the fluids. It helps you contract the muscles when you're lifting weights. It helps send nerve signals, right, for your neurotransmitters. And it also regulates stress hormones. So you know how that sometimes you feel tired or lethargic feeling after like a hard workout or, being on a long days of calls or meetings or you've been drinking too much coffee. that feeling usually comes from low sodium. It usually doesn't come from low motivation, right? So I had a friend, when he's on calls all the time, he runs a big company, and he often tells me, he's like, yeah, so around like 2, 3 p.m., I just, put LMNT salt packet in my water. And he's like, Mo, I'm charged up again. Like my brain just feels good. I'm not as tired. And that's very true because that replenishes the key electrolytes, the sodium, the magnesium, the potassium. So what happens when you drink lots of water, but you actually don't replace sodium levels? What happens is your sodium levels drop. So now your body feels flat, foggy, bloated. You just don't feel your best. So the thing I want you to remember here is the answer here is not less salt. The answer is better balance. So having an electrolyte packet is good for you, or you can even just sprinkle pink Himalayan salt in your flask of water. And I think that would be a great start, especially if you don't have underlying medical concerns, right? Unless your doctor told you, hey, don't have salt or don't do it. Listen to the doctor always, right? But if you're already a healthy athlete and you're doing plenty of exercise and overall you're healthy, I think salt can be helpful. At least it was for me. So here's the real truth. Salt is not good or bad. It's all about context, right? So if your diet is heavy on takeout food, you're adding a lot of sauces to your food and eating a lot of processed food, you're already loaded with sodium, right? So just keep that in mind. But if you cook at home, you eat whole foods and you train often, your sodium needs are likely higher. Your body needs more sodium for muscle contraction, for nerves, for hormones, for neurotransmitters, all of that. So that's why athletes use LMNT or other drink and they drink those, salted water or sprinkle like pink Himalayan into their morning flask. They're not doing it for aesthetics. They're literally replenishing what their body's losing through sweat. So as you sweat more, as you stay more active, your body needs more sodium and needs more of those electrolytes. So when you prioritize some electrolytes, you're actually going to feel better. Salt in general doesn't cause problems. The lifestyle around it does. So if you're already unhealthy, you don't exercise, you eat fast food a lot, you eat takeout a lot, right? You get food from restaurants a lot. That means your sodium levels are already high. You're likely not prioritizing your health. You might be in the obese category. So at that point, salt can hurt and actually lead to more blood pressure problems. But if you're like lean and active and taking care of your health and prioritizing your sleep and stress and nutrition, then having some sodium in your diet, having salt, pink Himalayan salt or, Celtic salt can be really, really helpful. So now let's wrap it all up because I think this will help you, like how to use salt intentionally, because there's a lot of ways that, I feel like you could overdo it too. Remember, it's a balance. You don't want to overdo salt. You don't want to underdo it. You just want to find the right balance for you. So number one, choose a good quality salt, right? So I like the pink Himalayan salt that comes from the mines in Pakistan, or the Celtic sea salt that's from the French sea, right? Those ones have small mineral boost and a cleaner taste. So the trace minerals are higher in those. So if you look at just table salt, right, it just has sodium in it, right? But as you go into pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt, there's going to be more and more minerals in it. So you're getting more for your, your salt. That's number one. Choose a quality salt. And you can find the pink Himalayan salt or, Celtic sea salt on Amazon or any other grocery store in your area. That's number one. Number two, you can add a pinch to your morning water, especially if you drink coffee. Caffeine dehydrates you, versus salt actually keeps your electrolytes balanced. So salt, you could say like salt is hydrating versus caffeine is dehydrating. So if you drink a lot of coffee, just balance that with your salt intake. Number three, don't be afraid of seasoning your food. So if you're cooking at home, you control your sodium far better than any restaurant meal. Restaurants often overdo it, in my opinion, but at home, don't be afraid of adding some seasoning to your meals. Number four, balance it out. So add potassium and magnesium. Think like eating bananas, avocados, leafy greens. What they will do is they balance the sodium's effect on your blood pressure. So just keep, sodium, potassium, magnesium in mind. And I think electrolytes can really help you. A lot of time when I'm talking about nutrition, we talk a lot about macros and carbs and fats and proteins, but sodium, potassium, magnesium are also like, that's the micronutrients, right? That's like the electrolytes. So this stuff you don't want to ignore as well. And then number five being, be aware of processed food sodium, right? So when you eat chips, when you go to, your fast food restaurants, they add a lot of oils and they often add a lot of salt to make it more addicting, and more palatable. But that just really messes up with your internal health, right? So the salt in your chips, sauces, deli meat, that's where most people go wrong. But if you want to just sprinkle some salt on your food, you want to sprinkle into your water, especially pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt, I think can definitely be helpful. So most people don't have a salt problem. They just have a processed food problem, right? So they're like eating a lot of processed food and then wondering like, oh man, like salt is bad for me. But if you eat junk, don't move, live off of caffeine, it's not the salt that's hurting you. It's likely the lifestyle. So salt is not the enemy. Just, I think that's the moral of the story. Salt is not the enemy. Just having imbalance with your lifestyle and all the other things is. So the problem is that just fix your lifestyle, and then salt can also help you even improve that from that point on. So before you cut out like the one mineral your body literally runs on, which is sodium, and the other two electrolytes, fix the system, fix your habits, fix your sleep, your hydration, and food quality. So at the end of the day, to wrap this up, salt is not good or bad. It is very contextual, right? So based on the context of the person we're looking at. So if you're somebody that moves, you exercise regularly, you sweat regularly, you eat clean, you hydrate well, salt will actually help you perform better. It'll help you think sharper and recover faster. Even in your workouts, you'll feel like you could lift more weights, right? But if you, on the other side, if you're sedentary, you don't exercise, you eat fast food every day, I would say scale it back with the salt, because it likely, scale the salt, but also fix your lifestyle. I think that's what it boils down to. So simple rule, move more, hydrate smart, and then add salt intentionally to your water or to your foods. And yeah, I want you to just, remember that the next time you're confused about the salt. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, it just depends on your lifestyle. If you're an athlete, if you live a very healthy life, I just add salt to your water or to your food for just one day, and you'll notice a difference with how your brain functions. You'll just feel a little sharper. At least that's what it did for me. But if your doctor told you, hey, don't add more salt, like your blood pressure is pretty high, then don't, and start working on fixing your lifestyle. Like I have a lot of other podcasts on how to start with the workouts or how to eat healthy or, how to start moving more. Start fixing your lifestyle, and then you can worry about salt later. So overall, if you think this episode helped you rethink salt, share with a friend or just tag me at Coach Mo. My Instagram is just Moegias, MOEGHIAS. Same thing as Facebook and TikTok. So yeah, when you post your morning electrolyte mix, just shoot me a tag. I would love to reshare it. But overall, let me know if you enjoyed these podcasts. I make these purely for you. I don't take any sponsorships. We literally I'm a fitness coach. I run a company. We have clients that bring up questions, and I want to share this with you for free. And if this stuff is helpful and you actually want to work one-on-one with us and get, more specific lifestyle coaching for your health and fitness needs, just shoot me a DM, right? I'm super easy to find. You can even go to our website, which is just twtt.us. It's just short for Training with the Titans. So twtt.us. Just go to that website, book a free call, and then we'll jump on and then get to know you better, either me or one of my coaches. But overall, stay hydrated, stay strong, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. One, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Moegias, MOEG as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.